Hey guys, it is Sophia, the Diabetic Vlogger, and today I'm reviewing another Iron Maiden song for you guys that I have been delightfully happy to find out what that is about, and that is another song off of Iron Maiden's album, Matter of Life and Death. This song became a favorite of mine earlier this year when I started listening to Iron Maiden and the end of winter, the beginning of spring, and that is brighter than a thousand suns. This song is very beautiful, and I encourage you guys to check it out. And if you haven't, I encourage you guys to go check it out. Come back and leave your comments down below. So I'm going to be reading you the lyrics to the song and talking about it. I did some research on it, as I tend to do with music, to find out what the song is really about, because I'm like, yeah, because it sounds like it's like, about happiness and darkness, probably something to do with war, right? Because this album's called Matter of Life and Death, so it has to be somehow about life and war. But I found out that it has to do about the atomic bomb and the history of mankind. So I'm going to read you this little article I found. Brighter Than a Thousand Suns is a song about Iron Maiden included in their 2006 album, A Matter of Life and Death. This song is about the Trinity experiment led 7 years ago on the 16th of July, and then brought the atomic bomb to life, also known as the Manhattan Project. The first atomic bomb in the history of mankind, named the Gadget, was exploded in the Jornada del Muerto Desert, 56 kilometers from the small town of Socorro in New Mexico. The title of the song refers to a comet based on the verse from the Behagave Get to one of the scientists Dr. Robert Oppenheimer made after seeing the A-bomb tested in the desert of New Mexico. The Robert in the song refers to to the head of the whole project, Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, and consisted of references to E equals MC squared, reference to Einstein's involvement in the building of the weapon. The song ties back to what singer Bruce Dickinson said inspired the album's dark and grim lyrical themes, as the band members' childhood experiences growing up in the Cold War era amongst common fears of imminent nuclear war and destruction. And here are the lyrics. We are not the sons of God, we are not his chosen people now. We have crossed the path he trod, he will feel the pain of his beginning. Shadow's fingers rise above, iron fingers stab the desert sky. Oh, behold the power of the earth, are your children ready for the fall? Locking hands together will raise a city, build a living hell. Join the race to suicide, listen for the tolling of the bell. Out of the universe, a strange light is born, unholy union, Trinity reformed. Yellow sun, its evil twin, and the black, the winds deliver him. We will sleep to souls within, at a siege, a nuclear gust is driven. Out of the universe, a strange light is born, unholy union, the Trinity reformed. Reformed. Out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns, out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns. Burying our mortals and burying our dead. Burying our head in the sand. E equals MC squared, you can't relate how we made God with our hands. Whatever would Robert have said to his God after he made war with the sun? E equals MC squared, you can't relate how we made God with our hands. All nations are rising through the acid belts of love and hate. Chain metals of Satan, uncertainly led us all to this. All nations are rising through acid belts of love and hate, confusion and fury. Divide and conquer while we may, others preach and others fall and pray. In the bunkers where we'll die, where the executioners that lie. Bombers launched with no recall, minute warning of the missile fall. Take a look at your last day, guessing you won't have the time to cry. Out of the universe a strange light was born, unholy union, Trinity reformed. Out of the darkness, out of the darkness, out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than a thousand suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than 1,000 suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than 1,000 suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than 1,000 suns. Holy Father, we have sinned. So this is also a very dark and dreary song. Kind of goes like with the whole album. And it's really interesting because Rush also made a song about the Manhattan Project. And it was actually called Manhattan Project, and it's one of my favorite songs, and I love songs about history and war, and so it just made this song a lot easier for me to figure out what it was about. So let's talk about the song. We are not the sons of God, so it's saying that we are not the sons of God, that we are not his chosen people now. We have crossed the paths he trod. We will feel the pain of his beginning. So I guess they're saying this song is talking about that these people is talking about that they have crossed the paths that God has trod, and now they will feel the pain of his beginning. Shadow fingers rise above, iron fingers stab the desert sky. It's talking about because these bombs were made and tested out in the desert sands of New Mexico. Oh, behold the power of the earth. Are your children ready for the fall? I guess basically, are they ready for, things to fall apart and for war? Locking hands together will raise a city and build a living hell. So it's saying that instead of raising a city, or maybe a city has been raised, now it's going to get ready to fall and it's going to become a living hell. Join the race to suicide. So I guess the idea, of going to war is that going to bring death and suicide into the world. Listen for the tolling of the bell. Listening for the toll of death or for the war to begin. Out of the universe a strange light is born, unholy union, Trinity reform. So it's talking about right there, out of the universe, it's talking about a strange light is born, the light of the bomb and all this noise and the type of pictures and flames that came out of it. So it's saying out of the universe a strange light is born, unholy union, Trinity reform. So because of an unholy union with wars, these trinities or these people or these groups of people, their ideas of the groups, they're being reformed because when people make agreements, they don't keep them, and so wars happen. Yellow sun, its evil twin. Talking about the sun and also the difference between that like in a bomb. In the black, the winds deliver him. We will sleep to souls within. At a siege, a nuclear gust is driven. So it's talking about a siege, the gust of it, like a nuclear weapon. Out of the universe, a strange light is born, unholy union, Trinity reformed. Out of the darkness, brighter than 1,000 suns. Out of the darkness, brighter than 1,000 suns. So they're just talking about, you're going from darkness because of war and death into a war that's brighter than 1,000 suns because the bombs are going off and explosions are already happening. So it's a big contrast between darkness and light. You're living in darkness, and then for a moment there's going to be the light because of the bombs and the war, but then it's really going to be dark again. Out of the darkness, brighter than 1,000 suns. 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 Burying our morals and burying our dead. So they're saying at the same time, you're burying your dead, you're burying your morals because you have gone to war. You have caused people to lose their lives. Burying our head in the sand. So the idea of war is really, just burying your head in the sand because you just feel so lost or confused at what you are doing, what's happening. E equals MC squared. You can't relate how you make God with their hands. So it's talking the idea of making, basically make something that can kill someone that decides who will live and dies, like making God with our hands. Whatever would Robert have said to his God? It's talking about Robert Oppenheimer, who created the atomic bomb. About he made war with the sun. Saying he made war with the sun by making the bomb. E equals MC squared. You can't relate how we make God with our hands. All nations are rising through the acid bells of love and hate. So the nations are rising up against each other because of the bells of love and hate. Chains, metals of Satan. Uncertainty led us to also sing. Uncertainty led to all this death and war and this pain and suffering. All nations are rising through acid belts of love and hate, confusion and fury, and so war causes confusion and fury. Divide and conquer while we may. Others preach and others fall and pray. So saying some people, preach war and other people fall and pray. And the bunkers while or die, or the executioners that lie. So the executioners, the people who had this happen, allowed it to happen, they're the ones that lie. Bombers launched with no recall, a minute warnings to missile falls, talking about, counting down to the missile, the bomb going off. Take a look at your last day, guess you don't have time to cry. It's not knowing when your last time is, not knowing when you're going to say goodbye or to have your last cry. Out of the universe a strange light was born, unholy union, Trinity reformed. Out of the darkness, out of the darkness, out of the darkness, brighter than 1,000 suns. 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 Holy Father, we have sinned. This is a really beautiful, sad song about war and how it affects people and what caused it to happen and people who allowed it to happen. I hope you guys like this video. Please leave your comments down below, and again, if you haven't heard a song, I encourage you guys to listen to come back and leave your comments down below. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys next time with another one. Goodbye.